Hey everybody, welcome back to the Playing with Power podcast, the issue-by-issue retrospective on Nintendo Power Magazine. You are joining us for July of 1995, that's issue 74. We have Donkey Kong Land for Game Boy on the cover. I am your host, Ben. With me as always is my co-host, Mike.
Hi.
And John.
We're on the Vagtastic voyage.
And joining us tonight, we have some guests for the season. I know, shocking, right? We have the Super C's. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing?
We're all great. Thank you very much.
I'm Rudy Chavez.
And I'm Kimberly Chavez.
And you were husband and wife, right?
That's
husband and wife, yes.
That's where the C's comes from, I'm assuming.
Right.
There we go. So, Super C's, what are your, so you're a gaming couple with your own, what's the best way to find you if people want to look you up?
We also have a YouTube channel, and we have a fan page.
Okay. Now, is it YouTube, just search for Super C's speedruns, or what's the best way to find you, do you think?
Just put in Super C's.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you were saying earlier, before the interview, before this started, you love doing speedruns and other aspects of, what are your favorite things to do with the retro video games?
Oh, we do speed runs together. We've also done video reviews as well. I think we did a couple. We haven't did that many yet.
Mm-hmm.
We basically do speed runs, and we do no death runs. So we do long plays.
So is this like a Twitch thing, or is this something where you'll practice for a really long time and try to get a video of your best run?
We post our best run.
Okay.
We're going to be doing that too. We're going to be doing live runs as well. We did it a couple times, just doing live on the stream or something like that.
And what are your respective best speedrun games?
If in speedrun, we did Jackal pretty fast, right?
Jackal, and I would probably say Contra, the arcade.
Yes.
Contra.
Okay.
So were you running that on a MAME, or were you running that on
the
NES?
actual hardware? No, we're running that on the actual hardware on PCB arcade board.
Wow, legit.
Nice.
Yeah,
that is legit.
Yeah, we did that on the hardest settings the game can go. Matter of fact, it's really odd because when you put on the hardest settings, it could sometimes act almost like a bug, but doesn't really bug. What it does is sometimes the sound will go off in some state, let's say in the boss fights, or when you give in the hardest settings, which is really odd. And we did that with probably our best, fastest time possible. But I got her started on the arcade platform. So now, since I own the arcade boards, I could play it off of my upright cabinet, and I got her started on that. So now we just buy the games and everything, and we have right now currently Splatterhouse, which she's going to do the world record on real soon.
Splatterhouse, he said.
We're working on the original Splatterhouse from Namco 1988.
Wow.
World record. Yeah, I'm working on that right now. This will actually be my first as far as score-based world record.
Nice. Well, as Ali G would say, respect.
I'm pretty sure you have to drop the T at the end to do the
respect.
Respect.
Yeah, sorry.
There you go.
Like you're trying to reconfigure your D&D character.
And what reviews have you done?
What reviews have we done?
Well, we did one with what's that called? Game that weird.
It was a really weird game. It wasn't a good game. We actually did a review on a really, really bad game, and we just sort of played it for about 30 minutes and just cracked jokes.
It looked like Minecraft.
I think it's called
Summatory Dreams. Summatory Dreams.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna be right at home here.
All right, so you guys mostly do co-op games, or do you kind of trade off on single-player games, or how does that work?
Well, do you want to say or want me to say?
We do mostly together. We do co-op games. Probably one of the most popular. We're gonna be doing Mercs. We're gonna buy the Mercs board, and we're gonna do a world record in that together. I want to make some trips to the Galloping Ghost Arcade and do world records there as well.
Oh wow! So That's you. That's when. So your relationship is firmly built around like you love the co-op. You love to spend time working together on the games. You don't have the like you're not more like looking to split. Like, hey, you're really good at the whatever games, and I'm really good at these games. You'd rather work together on them.
Oh yeah, we've found out that we're like a hell of a team when it comes to playing. It's not the easiest playing games together. It's not.
Because we got matter of fact, we got in the beginning we got praised for when we did a back-to-back. We did a Super Contra the arcade, and we got big praise over that at one time. And as one of the first couples to do something like that, Deathless, and she's been playing the NES games for many years. I've been playing it too, and
yeah,
I don't know if you guys ever had that experience. If you had your significant partner, which could be your lady, or in this case, right, ever played like enjoyably, it's an interesting experience when they work with you. You know what I mean? It's like,
I cannot imagine that. My wife
did you
not care for video games at all.
Yeah, it has its up and downs though. There are times where where sometimes I'll mess up and I'll get blamed for it. Well, why didn't you do this? That's okay. Well, you died this time. Well, we always find a way to get around that, and in the end we come out strong. And then usually it doesn't take us that long to grasp it.
And since you played so many games with each other, you probably have a feel for when someone's frustrated and when to like kind of not push too hard. Sort of. I bet you have a good feel for each other's mentalities at this point. That's awesome. My significant other is my right hand, so we play a lot of games together.
Well, it was great to have the Super C's on the show. Now let's talk about. Now we'll carry on the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But, so
I wanted to bring out real quick that I'm working on a documentary where she's gonna be having her own, my wife, which is gonna be pretty big. Well, I'm hoping it'll be pretty big. That it's been how long? 3 something years in the making, a little more than that.
3 years.
About 3 years in the making. So expect to see that real soon.
Oh, nice.
Keep an eye out.
Thanks.
Let us know, and we'll post a link to it when you guys release it. So
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Awesome. Yeah, it's called Video Warrior. And it's
Video Warrior. Okay.
Yeah, it's just to make it for people who get a wrong idea of it. A lot of people might think it's like all based about my wife, but it's actually based around the masses of gaming, but it just has her sort of like a protagonist sort of a deal.
That's cool.
Just as long as it's not a bunch of like goofy guys with baseball bats and roller skates beating each other up in a bathroom.
Right.
Yeah, Big Video Warrior.
Well, I would watch that. I'm just saying.
The Big Video Warrior is based on a pro gaming group I had when I was 10. I used to get like a group of friends together, and we used to like beat games quick. And I came up with the name Video Warrior.
Yeah.
And I also had a profile of each gamer that beat games. So that's basically where the name came from.
And how did you guys meet, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh my God, how I meet! And you know what? You won't believe it. We met like almost like what happens in movies. It's like a kind of like a romantic thing, I guess you could say. Like,
Aww.
Yeah, like we got into the phone and we end up how do you say, sleeping and talking together. So, and you know what I mean, like that. Yeah, it's crazy. And I will like quiz her, and she'll quiz me on video games. Yeah, I was like, oh,
you are two peas in a pod. I am so glad you have found each other. That makes me like that warms the cockles of my heart that the two people so well matched for each other have found each other. That's great.
You know what you do? If you do like a movie, you should have a dramatic, reimagining of how you met, where you both have like your arcade machines, right? And like you both are going to put that quarter up on the machine at the same time, and your hands accidentally touch, and your eyes meet, and the music goes off. It was love at first sight.
That sounds cute.
Yeah, that was.
Or you could have the funny answer like he teabagged me in Halo, and I just knew.
I just knew.
Yeah. I actually traveled very, very far to meet her because I'm from California and she's from Florida. And
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was all planned and sorted out, and it was just crazy.
We started out as internet friends. I actually friend requested him on Facebook, I didn't know who he was, but I sort of, just say, maybe I friend request him, get to know him a little, and basically upon that, he messaged me, and we started having. He has a little server where you can play classic arcade games. We had sessions, and we'll play like Legendary Wings and Contra and stuff together online, and we've actually beat a couple games together online.
Yeah,
and then he's like, he thought I was married. For some reason he thought I was married. I was like, no, I'm single.
So he was trying to be respectful, and then he found out that you were eligible.
Like, I hope your husband doesn't mind it if we play games. I don't have a problem.
Well, that was his way of finding out.
Yeah, that was definitely a feeler.
That was it. He was like, let me have your phone number.
Yeah. After that, the gloves are off, huh?
He went right for the power-up at that point. So good for you. Good call, buddy.
I'll tell you guys something, though. I'll admit I was a little nervous at going to Florida because I didn't know if it was going to be some crazy guy.
Fished,
yeah. That'd be the world's longest catfish. That would have been like most
right.
ever put into a catfish.
Yeah. Played video games with this chick for 6 months. Fly to Florida. Wake up the next morning in the hotel bathroom with my kidney gone. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's
still worth it.
I'm glad that you're real and that both of you have found each other because that's just awesome.
It's amazing. Very sweet.
I mean, I think everybody should have a. Let me tell you this: I don't know how it is like in traditional marriage, but like I think everybody should have a gaming partner. You know what I mean? It has to be, because if they don't, they won't understand your, let's say, vocabulary. They don't understand your world. You know what I mean? It's like
she's your player too, or you're her player too.
Yeah.
All right. Should we dig in on the issue at hand?
Yeah. Sure thing.
All right. So we've got a sort of haphazardly put together CGI of Donkey Kong swimming on the cover.
Yeah, and he's got a dog turd on his head.
Yeah, I got the swirl going on.
Yeah, I can't get over the sleeves. It's so weird. It's like creepy. Like
yeah.
I can't get past it.
Oh my god!
He's got like bones coming out of his fur.
Oh, he's like a really ugly dude in a gorilla suit.
But I think a real gorillas
and Rapey the fish is like coming in from behind, which is just all kinds of. I don't know what's going on with this fish thing. I don't know.
I'm about to dig in your coral reef.
Oh my god.
It's too early in the issue for this shit.
And what's with the like super long dildo banana in his hands?
Oh my!
That thing is like
that thing's a
Super C.
That's a John Holmes special right there.
Exactly.
That's it.
Oh.
You know what? Look at it. The banana looks crookedly proportional.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't even look like it's correctly done.
Yeah.
Those are the best kind of bananas, the really long ones.
That turtle behind him. What is that? The green thing.
No, that's a fish.
That's the fish.
Some fish. And then there's like a weird fish eye on the floor of the ocean, just like looking up at the banana, being like, holy fuck.
He's a stingray.
Oh, that's the shark. You know, when you ride
that's the shark. Oh, yeah.
I couldn't tell if that was just like clip art that they just shoved onto the cover, or was actually part of the Donkey Kong Land image here.
I thought it was like a stonefish, like those things that are like, they're really flat and they just sit on the bottom.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not it's not a terrible Donkey Kong, but like as you look at the individual elements of what's going on here, like none of it is really well done. It's easily identifiable as Donkey Kong, but like as you stare at it more, it's like one of those images where just like a whole bunch of little things are really off.
Yeah, like the fact that he has sleeves.
The sleeves bother me the most. It's like, is this a gorilla wearing a gorilla suit? Or is this like fur detachable? He's nude under his fur or something?
His knuckles are weirdly 3D rendered. It's just all kinds of oddness going on here.
He looks like he's constipated.
Well, I think some of it's coming out behind him. Whatever that tan thing is that's floating out behind. What is that? Is that his foot?
I thought that was his foot.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
let's move on in. So we've seen this advertisement before.
It's Mutton Chop.
Yeah, it's the guy with the odd portion of a mutton chop down by his cheekbone.
The Holstein mutton chop.
I can't get past this, guys. Why do they keep printing this stupid ad? I don't understand it.
I think they feel like they overpaid, so they got to get their money out of it.
I mean, everything on this page, that is the one thing that the eye is drawn to. Is like, what the hell is that on that guy's face?
Yeah.
And the anarchy symbols all over the place because, you know, they want to be like that hip, edgy gamer magazine.
They're edgy, so, yeah.
All right. Table of contents is next. We have another trippy background. It makes it impossible to read the text on top of it. We've got the Donkey Kong land, as mentioned, again with the sleeves. You've got a Nautilus shell, it looks like. A creepy Nautilus shell thing. Clam with a tongue.
Mm-hmm.
It licks itself.
It's a licking clam. The joke writes itself.
There you go. Let's see.
In Soviet Russia, clam eats you.
We're going to dig on RPGs in Japan. Oh, boy. We have a report from E3. And then we have full coverage coming up on Donkey Kong Land, as mentioned, Judge Dredd, Nosferatu, Jungle Strike, Animaniacs. And then we have Take-Two reviews on Power Instinct, SWAT Cats, Power Rangers the movie, World Heroes 2 Jet, and more.
Yep.
So moving on into the Players Pulse, this is the mailbag section. Who wants to read the first letter?
What does it say? It says, in volume 71, we ask what you thought would happen to Super NES once the Ultra 64 comes out. Check out the special report on E3 this issue, and you'll see a lot of great games coming out for the Super NES, including Killer Instinct next month. Here's a sample of what our readers thought. So they gave you a primer here.
Got
it. Would one of the Chavezes like to start us off?
We'll say again.
So on page 6, you want to read the first letter from Chris Mack?
I don't even know if I did this right. It said, okay, I have the load files, next file.
All right.
Scroll the wheel on your mouse and it'll flip the page.
Okay, because I put load next files, but it sent me to something else.
It's all one. You're reading one file, so you don't want to go to the next one.
Technical difficulties.
Well, it says, okay, see, hey, man, is it?
Yeah, you just scroll your wheel on the mouse.
Well, I got you. Let me see.
Now they're going to be reading with us instead of...
Glad we figured that out now before we're like halfway through the issue.
I made sure they could open the file. I forgot to make sure that they could turn the next page.
The guy that he tossed up in the air.
What?
What's that?
There was a guy being tossed up in the air. Do I roll?
Oh, yeah. So keep going. We're on page 6. If you hit Control and scroll out a bit, it'll make it not so zoomed in.
Oh, 6.
Okay, I'll start us off while waiting for...
Pulse?
Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah, Players Pulse. That's where we're at. We're at the first letter from Chris Mack from Island Lake, Illinois.
Okay, so what did you guys want me to do?
Do you want to read it?
All right. Yeah, let me see. Can you guys hear me? Because, let's see. Okay, it says, in volume 71, we asked what you thought.
Yeah, we read that part.
Oh. Sorry. We're at the first letter. We're good.
It says, again, I think the Super NES will continue to be productive long after the Ultra 64 makes its debut. Just look at how long the original Nintendo held out after introduction of the cursed Sega Genesis. I estimate anywhere between 1.5 to 3 years of unchanged sales before the Ultra 64 really makes an impact.
Wow. Okay. That's optimistic.
Yeah.
It definitely hung around for a while, but definitely the 64 took over pretty quickly. From what I remember, at least.
Can I ask a question? The city name, Island Lake. How can you be an island and a lake? It makes no sense at all.
The islands in the lake.
Also, how can a lake be a town name?
I don't know.
All of this makes no sense to me.
There are a bunch of fish living there.
It's the So,
all right, Ben,
Okay.
you want to crack the next one?
Sure, I'll take Barry Gibb Pritchard from Dover, Ohio. It says the first year or so, the NES was still very popular until everyone got a Super NES or got a chance to play one. I still think the Super NES will be popular, but in a few years, I think it will end up like the NES, pitched away and only played now and then.
So how much do I have to pay you to take your next vacation in Dover so I could say bend over?
No.
You pay for the flight and the hotel room, and I'll do it.
I'll show up. That's the problem. All right. Mike, you want the next one?
Okay, we got Brett Matulis from Wilkesville, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, says the new 64 sounds pretty neat. You asked what's going to happen to my SNES? Well, it's staying right where it is. I'm worried what's going to happen with your. I'm worried what is going to happen to your magazine. Right when SNES came out, I couldn't afford it. Afford with a T.
Afford.
I couldn't afford it. And when it took over Nintendo Power, it got boring hearing about those new games and getting no information on the regular NES. But as long as you keep putting in lots of info about the Super NES, I'll be pleased.
All right. And the next letter from Justin Ferguson from Indianapolis, Indiana, writes in Super NES, dead, not. There's plenty of spunkiness left in the good old Super. No siree, I'll be playing it loud into the 21st century. When the day comes, I don't play it anymore. I'll have it frozen along with me in a cryogenic capsule with my favorite games and sent into space. Hopefully, one day, Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation might find me drifting in space and unthaw me along with my 60-bit companion and my stash of favorite games. Assuming Dr. Crusher can fix me and the replicator can make me a TV set, I'll be playing it loud in the 26th century. Holy crap.
I like the idea that he's going to get cryogenically frozen by some process that's also going to propel him into space. He's not going to be in a facility. They're just going to freeze him and then just throw him out into space and be like, we're fucking done with you.
It's pretty clear this was tongue-in-cheek, but yes.
I like it.
That's good.
All right, I'll finish up the last one here from Kellen Cummings from Farmington Hills, Michigan. Says, do not destroy the SNES until the princess joins a gardening club. Samus goes to a nursing home and Mario and Luigi's idea of a little action is playing croquet. Long live Super Nintendo.
So I guess this guy's version of a Super Nintendo retirement is like the first 20 minutes of Cocoon. It's an old folks movie. Okay. Envelope art.
Oh man, Cocoon, that takes me back.
All right.
Such a creepy movie, like sleeping in pods under a pool.
Yeah. I
mean, we're going to be young forever.
I'd rather sleep with old people.
And we got some spectacular envelope
Good news.
art.
Kevin Spacey's available.
Well, you're gonna have to get a 20-year-old. You're gonna have to get a 20-year-old in that Cocoon. I feel like I'm 14 again. Now you're talking.
All right. So we have an awesome envelope art selection here. We've got Joker with the rest of like a lineup of Batman villains. Yeah.
Yep. Then Final Fantasy 3, all the characters up on there looking fantastic, and then something that looks like it was taken out of like one of Jim Davis's rejected comics.
No, that's a game. I forget what game that is.
Reminds me of like Eek the Cat.
Yeah.
It's like a purpley thing, like octopus type thing, but his arms look like little golf clubs sticking out of the back of it.
And he's aiming like a Mega Man type cannon of one of his arms at a slug.
I forget what game that is from. That's from an actual game. I just forget which.
Oh, this looks like Clay Fighter? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is. It's Clay Fighter.
Because I recognize the guy on the left as
it is.
Goo or whatever.
And then we have Mega Man as well as
Zero.
Okay.
And
no, that's not that is not Zero, is it? That's Breakman. Proto Man. Yes, I'm right. You're wrong.
I thought he was 0.
0?
Oh.
Ooh, guess taking
Oh,
sides.
you're going to challenge me, huh? Well, you're throwing the hammer down about my
The
Mega
gauntlet
Man
has
knowledge.
been thrown.
0 shows his face, thank you very much, and that would be hair flying out the back. Proto Man wears sunglasses, and that is a yellow scarf coming off his neck. Totally different.
Smackdown given.
And number 4 is nerd. Number 4 is Glacius from Killer Instinct. It's a pretty good one, actually. All right, who wants to read the Funky Kong voice? Well brought up.
Funky Kong. All right.
That was
Okay, dude. I just read what Cranky wrote in Nintendo Power Volume 71. I don't know what that geezer... That geezer doesn't know what he's talking about, man. I think Donkey Kong Country's far out. The graphics are great. You made the game so enjoyable. I think you should, put me in the next game if you want to make a sequel. I got some killer moves to bash those Kremlings. I bet the next thing Crank would say is the new layout of the magazine is too much. It can make him have a heart attack, but I think it's totally awesome.
I think it's a missed opportunity they didn't put Cranky and Funky in a
that was
game
totally
together.
like Spicoli meets Otto from The Simpsons.
They responded.
With a hint of 87 Michelangelo.
I got some Keanu Reeves out of it, personally.
I was doing Ted.
There you go. See, I got it. They responded and said, looks like every gorilla has an opinion on Donkey Kong Country, and that's no monkey shines. But we're still waiting to hear from Candy Kong. Hello out there, Candy. Drop us a line.
She's got some too many bananas in her mouth.
Okay, who wants to tell us about Sean McBride, who won the Killer Instinct arcade cabinet?
I'll do it, whatever. Play it loud is the motto of Sean McBride of Cleveland, Oklahoma. Not Ohio.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know. It says okay, but I don't. Is there a Cleveland, Oklahoma?
I don't know. Let's move on.
If only there was an internet. Shown here with the spanking new internet arcade, or Killer Instinct arcade game he won in Issue 66's Players Poll. Fortunately, my parents live on one side of the house and I live on the other.
Fat.
Who names Glacius and Fulgore as his favorite characters. Sean only had played Killer Instinct once before winning the contest, but now he's a definite freak.
Ow!
It gets pretty intense. A couple of hours fly by, and I don't even know it.
Oh, so I'm not wearing any pants.
Hashtag Thug Life.
And I get the last letter from Cliff Campbell of Gratz, Pennsylvania. Is Kirby really made of marshmallow? To which they reply, rumor has it that Kirby is made of a mysterious substance called Kirbyite, which allows him to keep inhaling and exhaling for hours without hyperventilating.
So your mom's made from it too?
So they asked for letters for the summer. They said, where are you taking your Game Boy for summer vacation? To the top of a mountain, to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Send us your wildest vacation photos. So expect to see some vacation photos. All right, next set of pages here.
So, Super C's, would you like to tell us the top 5 Super Nintendo games?
You mean from the magazine or from?
Yeah.
The list on page 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to get my son.
You're all good. You're all good. Don't worry about it.
I see page 8.
Yep.
Okay. All right. For the first top red one.
Yeah.
How do you start? You start from the bottom up.
Well, you can do 5 to 1. Or read 1 to 5. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Donkey Kong Country, The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Final Fantasy 3, Super Metroid, Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. Have you played many of those?
Yes, actually, I played just about all of them. The only one I did not play was probably King Griffin Jr. and Illusion of Gaia. Did I say?
Yeah. Illusion of Gaia.
I played that game. It's pretty neat.
Of the top 5, what's your favorite?
I'm gonna absolutely say the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. That one was awesome.
Well, yeah, it's probably the best game ever. So we're in agreement. Kimberly, do you have a favorite in that top 5?
In the top 5? Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to go with Super Metroid though.
Super Metroid.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Fan. Super Metroid was dynamite game to me. Awesome. That's gonna be my pick.
Good job. All right, and then let's see the Game Boy top 5. We have Mike. You want to go through it?
Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Kirby's Dream Land 2, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, Donkey Kong Land, and number 1, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
Thanks.
I don't know why you're doing this like weird like TV show announcer voice.
I was doing the
trying
movie
to-
phone.
No, you sounded like the that trailers one, Honest Trailers voice.
In a world where Donkey Kong was not number 1.
Welcome to Movie Phone. Well, why don't you just tell me what the movie is?
Why don't you just tell me what you wanted? You've selected Agent Zero.
All right, let's see. Their top 3 movie-based games: Lion King on Game Boy, fuck them. Jurassic Park 2 on Game Boy, and Lion King on Super NES. Lion King on Super NES actually is pretty decent.
How is Disney's Aladdin all the way at number 9? Come on, that is one of the better ones.
The lobbyists got to them. All right.
All right, let's move on to our feature game here. Yep.
I only played that for the Genesis now.
No, I played for Super NES.
Oh, you did?
That's a good game. Great game.
Basically, I'm at number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Deserves to be higher.
Pretty tough. Pretty tough, but yeah.
All right. Let's move on into our featured game here for Game Boy. It's Donkey Kong Land. So it's basically like Donkey Kong Country on the go. I had the benefits of replaying this a little bit, and I actually owned this as a kid. It's just like Donkey Kong Country. It's really tight controls, and it's got the same kind of visual style, which doesn't look too great in screenshots. It looks very confusing, as a matter of fact.
The graphics, I remember them being great on the Game Boy, though.
They look really good in full motion, though, when you're playing.
It almost like looks 3D on the Game Boy, which is crazy.
I'm going to talk about a little bit. So we already know about Donkey Kong Country, so I'm going to tell you about some of the differences between.
Wait, Super C's, did you play Donkey Kong Land on the Game Boy growing up?
No, I didn't. Let me ask him. Kim, did you play Donkey Kong Land?
Donkey Kong Land?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You did for the Game Boy?
Yes.
Oh.
He's finding out stuff about her. All right.
What are your thoughts?
What's your thought?
I thought it was a good game. I was Donkey Kong Land wasn't my top game, but I thought it was a decent fun game.
Yeah, but it looks great. I mean, like as a Game Boy game goes, it's like one of the better looking ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it still from Rare or no?
I think so.
I don't know who made this thing.
I'll look that up while you talk, Ben.
Did you hear her voice went up when she said, "Yeah, it's a good game," you know?
Yeah, it's all right. It's like that's like I'm used to that, hearing that when girls are like, "How was the day?" Yeah, I had an okay time.
Yeah. So you went back to my place? Yeah, I don't know, you know.
Well, officially Nintendo released it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
No idea
I used to play my friend's Game Boy. I never owned a Game Boy back then.
Okay.
My friend had one that I played all the time.
You got the OP. Other people's.
Other people's. So.
Oh, I don't know if you guys had this thing that happened to me once. I mean, did the Game Boy seem bigger when you were smaller?
Yeah, the original one was like a house brick.
I mean, but like in your mind, it's like you get really big. It's like it just seemed like.
Oh yeah, like when you go back to your childhood home and you're like, holy crap, that thing's so much smaller than what I remember it.
Right. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like when you see your dad naked when you're a kid.
Yeah, that's why, like, if I ever have a son, I'm like gonna walk out naked when he's like 7, so he thinks I have the world's biggest penis. That's my plan. I'm just gonna roll with that.
Yeah. I kind of had the idea that my son was like a little bit too old to be like seeing me naked when I'm like urinating, and he goes, "Nice penis, Dad." I'm like, "All right, thank you. That's enough."
High five.
We're in public. Thank you. It's enough. Turn around.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And some guys pay for that kind of compliment. I'm just
Well, I'll
saying.
bet. Yeah. All right. So I want to tell you about some of the differences. So it's not the same game in terms of level design. I want to make that pretty clear. It's so it has all different levels. A lot of the similar art is copied over, and there's a very clear definition of like where they reused similar art and where they didn't. So as we're looking through coverage of the different levels, you can kind of tell where, like in the jungle, they just kind of reused what was there for Super NES and you know, obviously applied the 4-color palette to it. And there's other levels like the pirate platforming stage that is completely brand new art. And you can tell because it's like barren in terms of art style. Like they didn't put the effort to go through and re-render 3D and all that. They just kind of tried to make something that kind of matched a little bit. But it's very high contrast and it's a lot different compared to the levels. So it's kind of striking when you switch between them. So that's one difference. Levels end. So normally in Donkey Kong Country, when you finish a level, you usually just sort of go off the screen into a cave or something like that. There's like a weird portal at the end of every level of this, and you jump into like a circular portal thing and get sucked into whatever dimension takes you out of the level.
So now you're living on an island of wormholes.
Yeah, it's sort of like, why is this here? They could have just walked off the stage again, but whatever.
Yeah, Kirby, at least Kirby, like he does a little dance and takes off where he rides a star. Like,
And then, so you can still play as Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong, and you press select to switch between them. But when you first like free your buddy out of a barrel when they're trapped, instead of like joining you and like hopping along next to you, they float up into the sky. Like they just go up into the sky.
The barrel was the only thing tethering them to this mortal coil.
Yeah, and then when you want to switch to them, you press select. Your character does a weird like animation where like it gets really small like Ant-Man and then turns into the character and then grows back up to normal size as Diddy or whatever.
Wow.
It's just sort of odd design decisions that they chose to do.
Are the bosses and stuff the same? Like, are we fighting the same enemies, or is there like a different story here?
I don't remember, to be honest, what the story was, and I didn't get that far in replaying it. It's a lot of the same enemies. There's some unique ones, but it's a lot of reused like art.
With all these changes, next thing you know, they're not collecting bananas but plantains.
Like you can tell which levels are completely brand new. So like the one where they're climbing up the pirate ship is brand new, and the last one, Big Ape City, which is like in a city. Obviously, that wasn't in Donkey Kong Country, so that's brand new, right?
Yeah.
So I would imagine they had some unique enemies for that, but anyways,
the clam,
like
the clam with the tongue is just super off-putting. I'll say that much.
Yeah, this 3D is like early like CGI 3D art, and it does not age well at all.
Like Roy Moore's dates.
Oh, that reminds me. It's like, I got to talk about this a little bit. So John grew a mustache for some reason, for like November stash, Movember, right?
No, I was shaving the beard that I had, and I realized that it was like the mustache was funny. So like I stopped at the mustache and like didn't shave it off for a day. And I took a photo of it and put it on Facebook because it was funny. And you can continue the story.
Yeah, but you got a bunch of comments about it. I noticed you didn't comment on mine. I called it a Moore stash.
Oh, I get that now. Okay.
Because Judge Roy Moore. Anyways, was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, that afternoon I got a big gulp and went to the park down the street and watched the kids play. And the police showed up and it wasn't cool. I can't enjoy watching a park full of kids play. What is this, America? This was America.
You can do that down in Alabama, apparently.
Did you hear the story? Apparently, so he was trying to get one of the girls to date him, and she said no. But she mentioned what high school she went to. Yeah. So he went and called the high school, and they called her out of class to take a phone call. Yeah. She gets to the office, and he asks her out after they've had her walk out of trigonometry class. She's like, no, I'm he's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm in trig class right now. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. What am I doing right now? I'm beginning puberty.
Oh, well, never mind then. Click.
Yeah, never mind. Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Yeah, she got called to the vice principal's office, right?
Yeah. What the fuck? Administration.
Yeah, can you imagine? You're I'm in trouble now.
Oh yeah, I'd like to ask one of the students out. Can you please get him to the office for me? All right, Mr. Middle-aged man. Nothing wrong here.
Well, one, OkCupid didn't exist back then, and even if it did exist in the form it does today, it still has an 18-year minimum.
God, can you imagine? I mean, he was hanging out at the local shopping mall every weekend, all day Friday, all day Saturday, trying to pick up teens.
Yeah.
He was our age. Can you imagine
he's
that?
He was yeah, it just doesn't. Oh yeah, but yeah, it's a media witch hunt out to get him. You know, smear job. Right.
Anyways.
Okay.
Right, because he's a well-adjusted guy who does speeches while waving a gun around, looking like Yosemite Sam.
What's the point in living in America if you can't brandish a firearm during a political rally? All right, E3 coverage.
And hold on, let me tie a bow in Donkey Kong Land real quick. So, anyways,
okay.
Play control is really solid. It's a fun game. If you're a really big fan of Donkey Kong Country, I do recommend it.
It is one of the better Game Boy games for sure.
Oh, for sure. It's amazing how good some of those Game Boy games are, especially the original ones.
Right. It's almost like Nintendo cared back then.
Oh, they always care
about your money.
So, we're now at the Electronic Entertainment Exposed, and it's got some hip graffiti telling us it's the place to be, and just to show how damn hip and cool these are, we get to see 3 above middle-aged men getting tattoos at a Nintendo convention. So
yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's creepy.
I hope they're getting Virtual Boy logoed tattooed on their arm.
This is going to be a big money maker.
Like that guy with the Zune tattoo.
Yeah, there was one of the video game executives, I think it was Peter Moore. That guy had multiple tattoos for every single launch.
Yeah.
He had GTA 3, he had an Xbox One, something else.
I want that font pack. Whatever font they're using that looks like graffiti, I would totally type stuff up in that.
So how does that work? You get to print it out and then cut into shapes and then spray paint it so it's that exact font?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I think this is they just had someone write it out and put the pictures of it in. But if that's an actual font, that would be awesome.
We get to see these. Yeah, it looks like the Japanese game developer and a thinner version of Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's. and Mr. Rogers.
Where?
And Mr. Rogers, dorky.
He's talking about the guy in the back right. These businessmen that are getting tattoos. So they're saying Dave Robert,
Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's.
A Pippi Longstocking.
That's what my sister used to.
And in the back we got
Mr.
Rogers.
By it, and she's like, long pippies, and we're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And we realized that.
Yeah, and then we got Mr. Rogers in the back, so... What type of gaming convention has a tattoo parlor?
The good ones.
Damn right. So, Earthbound...
This is how it used to be back in the day.
So, did any of you Chavezes get to play Earthbound?
I think they got baby drama.
Technikid difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so... We got the Batmobile But not like the cool Adam West Batmobile or the Tim Burton Batmobile. No, in the back we can see Chris O'Donnell as Robin. So yeah, it was Batman. Yeah, pretty much that. And so
let's see. We have some Killer Instinct coverage. We have Doom is going to be coming to.
God, I want that Killer Instinct leather jacket so bad.
All right,
it's awesome.
Unfortunately,
the internet.
It looks like
Christmas is coming.
Unfortunately, it looks like it's being worn by Steven Seagal.
Well, I want one not worn by them, but you know what I mean.
Would you pay extra for one that had been worn by Emilio Estevez?
No, he could pay me to wear it though.
And then we get a poster for Secret of Evermore, where we get to see a really terrifying dog with red eyes and a big open jaw, kind of like Pennywise.
You know
Why? What's up?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you that I was a really big fan of Secret of Mana, and I thought it was gonna be part 2. And I had nothing to do with part 2.
No, but it stood out on its own, didn't it?
Oh yeah. It was a weird, like the dog pet of different. If you go different places and your dog changes into different things.
And the guy keeps referencing these movies that don't exist. Like, oh man, look at this big jungle. It reminds me of like Pernicious Dave and the Floral People. Like, he was always quoting these movies. So you get to play a movie geek and an ever-changing dog.
Yeah.
Is it Secret of Evermore or a Led Zeppelin song?
I thought it was the show on the CW.
I always thought it was Secret of Mana a long time ago.
And then Big Sky Trooper, which is a LucasArts game, and I enjoyed that game. You end up getting conscripted into this Earth Defense Force, fighting off an alien invasion, and then you think that you're waging like you're one part of a big campaign against the aliens, and then midway through they're just like, do you know how many troopers there are? Just you. Yeah,
If you fight in the Trump Defense Force, you fight different aliens.
Oh, did you see what those Cards Against Humanity guys did?
That's awesome.
They bought
Yeah,
a board
I
of
saw
wall.
the
They're
video.
just like, fuck you, you ain't getting the wall.
My bad. Led Zeppelin song was Battle of Evermore.
Oh. That's a load off Ben's shoulders.
I had to look it up. I feel better now.
All right, and then what else do we have?
Virtual Boy.
We got what is that, Pikmin at the bottom? Like, what the heck are these different colored blobs?
It looks like a graphical test. I don't know.
We've got Spider-Man going full derp. We've got Virtual Boy.
It's like the Spider-Man and the Fonz.
They talk about Booger Man.
Oh shit, are you looking at this camera guy? He is sporting a Woody and a half.
What?
He's got like a giant robot penis.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, that is not the camera guy. That is the sound guy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a boom mic.
No, that is the stunt cock.
Yeah, that's the sound guy. He's produced the microphone right from his pants.
Bring out the stunt penis.
That's pretty. No,
All right.
It's a malfunction Arconoid game. Hit right there.
Oh, there we go.
What's happening with the ice skating person wearing Christmas lights on page 28?
They're doing something with mocap. Has to be what's going on.
I guess there's like no context to this photo at all.
Claims set up its motion capture software to demonstrate how quickly it could translate animation data for each of the 4 top-end video game platforms. So it was like a demonstration of mocap.
Oh, okay.
And then we have
an
interview with Dave Perry. Dave Perry.
Wow, that whole getup is amazing. Look at this jacket.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
he looks like a game show host from Nickelodeon.
It's like a spider came on a
Yeah.
chalkboard.
I was about to say, it was like he went to the Spider-Man Bukkake convention.
Oh, and then his tie is like someone barfed up a whole bag of Skittles.
No, it looks like that. It looks like if you crushed up a bunch of malto meal and dipped it in it.
And then we get to see Earthworm Jim, and then top 5 predictions from E3. Number 5, Sega will introduce a 64-bit system by bundling 8 master systems together and calling the whole thing Titan. You know, considering what they did with the 32X and the 32 CD and all that shit, they weren't that far off.
Well, Titan was the code name for one of them, so they were probably had some inside information. Be the guess.
Number.
I like the.
Go ahead.
It's like TurboGrafx. When you said it like that, it sort of reminds me of the TurboGrafx 16, supposedly.
Yeah.
Dual processor, two 16, something like that. Was it?
Yeah.
Two 8 bits, but me and my wife had massive arguments over that. She won the argument because it was over beat up Nintendo, so it was supposed to be an 8-bit.
Well, she won the argument because she's your wife. Let's be honest.
And then number 4, everyone at Atari will have to take mandatory math lessons. Ooh, sick
Ouch.
burn.
Spicy.
Number 3, Virtual Girl will debut next year with a color option. The cases will be available in yellow, green, or teal.
Okay. All gender neutral colors.
What's
by the way.
Virtual Girl? Is that like a waifu pillow?
And then number 2, Sony will try to trade Psygnosis for a box full of real lemmings. And number 1, Kevin Bayliss, the designer of Bee Orchid at Rare, will invent the world's first anti-gravity device and win the Nobel Prize.
Wow!
Because the
I can't believe
tits.
I can't believe they put that in there.
That's crazy.
Wow!
This is
their
so. So last issue we had the World Trade Center joke, and then this issue we have
A nipple joke,
nipple joke.
a tit joke.
We're on
pretty
page
good.
29, Super C's, by the way. We're looking at the top
All right.
5 predictions from E3. But now we're moving on to the next game.
For Super Nintendo, we have Judge Dredd, but not just any Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd based on the movie with Sylvester Stallone, Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
the
Also
one where
featuring
he-
Rob Schneider as a trash can.
And Sandra
Rob-
Bullock.
Rob Schneider is a carrot. Was it Rob? I don't think Sandra Bullock was Sandra Bullock in Judge Dredd?
You're thinking of Demolition Man, I think.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider was definitely in it. He's like they recycle food or whatever, and like
Yeah, he's
in the food
absolutely
compactor.
he's absolutely awful in the movie. Diane Lane is the love interest in the Stallone one.
Did you know that Rob Schneider's daughter is the one that has that song out that's like X's and O's?
Oh,
That's his daughter. It's like it's not her last name's not Schneider. She's like renamed it to something else. But
Okay, on page 34, we got an
the
insert
alphabet song.
on page 34.
What's that? I can't hear you. Mike's talking.
I love how Mike just like jumps ahead. All right, Mike, carry on.
On page 34, we have what?
Well, they're not even have you starting talking about the goddamn game.
Go ahead,
Nothing
let him
else
go.
was interesting.
Because Mike, yeah, I fucking love the way you do that. All right, okay.
God damn it. Meanwhile, back in my own dimension, I'm
Back
on
in what
page
interests
69.
me, I'm just gonna jump ahead because fuck you guys talking about a game.
Blah blah blah. Mike's
Blah blah blah. You're boring. Blah blah blah. What captures my interest? All right, Mike. What is so important on page 34?
It looks like Sam Elliott playing the Crow.
Oh, I'm so glad we got there.
Next
it's
to
so
Ben
worth
Stiller.
So worth it.
It always is. All right.
Is
All
that
right.
drama from Entourage on the right? I'm not even joking. I think that's the same actor.
Victory! All right. So,
Angela.
Judge. So, like, yeah, I have. This movie is not a bad action movie from the 90s, like, but the new, like, the Carl Urban Judge Dredd is so much better than this movie that, like, it kind of puts it to shame. Like, compared to other action movies, it's like a solid 6, but, like, because someone else has done a Dredd movie, like, so much better, like, sticking to the source material so much better, like, it really kind of puts this movie to shame. The game, it's a pretty standard, like, action platformer shooter. You work your way around these. The maps are very helpful to have, by the way, because, like,
We actually had this game.
Yeah?
The time where they were doing the Blockbuster World Championships. Actually, I actually played this game in the Blockbuster World Championships.
How did you do? Did you get enough points to like carry on?
I did get first place because I played that game and I played Sonic 3.
Nice.
2 games you get to play.
So
for Super Nintendo, it was two other games. I think it was Teenage Mutant Tournament Fighters and I think NBA Jam or something like that.
So how would that work? Would you have like 5 minutes or so to get as many points as you could in the game, sort of thing, or like how did it?
They give you about probably maybe 20 minutes each. You have to play both games to get as much points as you possibly can.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually did really well, and I did better in Sonic 3, but I did okay in Judge Dredd.
So the trick to this game is like you can either kill the enemies or have them surrender to like the police if they or surrender to you effectively.
Something like it's not bad. I would say it's better than the movie was.
Yeah. Well, I mean the movie's not. Yeah, you're right. The movie is like it's one of those things like compared to other average movies, it's okay.
Right.
But the maps would like really help. The game doesn't give you these maps, so like playing with this coverage would really help. And whenever you have the option to have the enemies surrender to you, do it because you get a lot more points and ammo from surrendering enemies than you do from killing them. So that's what I gathered. That's what I gathered from from my playtime here. Do you remember how many points you got from your session?
Games?
No, from the Judge Dredd on the championship run.
Okay, 2 combined or just one of them?
What's it combined both?
Oh, I actually got up to like 600,000. It's 621, 7 I think, 700, something like that.
Nice. Well, I would say skip the game and the movie and watch the Carl Urban version of the movie instead.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
Not the Keith Urban version.
Keith Urban, that's the country singer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Good reference. Sick reference there.
Yeah.
You always have the best references, Mike.
Never played Judge.
All right. So, does it follow the movie's plot at all?
Not really.
Okay. Well,
also, one thing when you start playing, like you don't realize that there's one of the dynamics of getting through the missions is there's like ropes that go between platforms. So like if you're standing above a rope and hit down, that's often like the only way out of where you think you're stuck from. So take a look for ropes below you that you can like descend to the next platform below. That would be one thing that's pretty critical that you don't the game doesn't tell you that that's a thing.
So how would you grade this game?
It's well done. It's like 3 out of 5. Like,
okay,
what's there is good, but like it's not like, oh my god, you have to play this. Like it's an amazing, like as far as in the pantheon of movie adaptations, it's definitely in the top third. But that's just because that grouping is like really shitty. So
it's not bad for a movie adaptation.
Yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. It's just like it doesn't stand out as like a game you have to play, is what I would say. So if you like shooters, and it does have like a little bit of a twist to it in the surrendering enemies instead of the, instead of having to kill them, like that's a little interesting, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with this coverage. Like it like transitions to like the scan. Like all of a sudden it goes to like.
Yeah, we got.
I think they misplaced.
Yeah.
It's the same for the Boogerman poster, but they put the other side in. They goofed.
Okay. Yeah, whoever put together the scan did this wrong. This is Nosferatu.
Yeah, we're not.
That's been shown here.
Yeah,
we're not there yet. So, anyways, we're gonna move on to the centerfold image here, which is Boogerman, a game coming soon from Interplay, and its subtitle is a pick and flick adventure.
Oh, that's a nasty.
And this is Interplay's the same people that made Earthworm Jim, so I think it's intended to try and get more money from whatever audience liked Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, he looks like a Beagle Boy if he was like obsessed with snots.
If Jay Leno's chin melted and was a superhero, this would be him.
What's his name? Snotty Ragsdale?
I think so.
His secret identity?
Yeah. Pretty easy to figure out.
All these enemies from the side look like they were taken from Ralph Bakshi's Wizards movie.
He knows about Ralph.
What?
Ralph Bakshi, the guy that did the Lord of the Rings cartoon from the 70s.
Ralph Macchio?
Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid?
Ralph Bakshi.
Yeah, the Karate Kid.
Ralph Macchio, Karate Kid. Got
Ralph
it.
Macchiato, yes.
Cobra Kai.
Well, when you guys said, what was that? When you said Ralph Botch, you're not talking about the one that created the Cool World, right?
Yeah, Fritz the Cat. Wizards.
Oh my
This
gosh.
looks like... See, he gets it. Somebody gets it.
Yeah, that's how a normal person
That's it?
describes it. Thank you very much for...
Jesus.
I'm done. I'm
Look.
done.
The guy did a lot of funny racial cartoons too.
No,
Lovely.
It looks like
How
it looks
normal
like
people
they're-
describe things like... There you go. That's how a normal person...
What?
Oh my god.
Wizards came
All right.
out in the 70s, so did Lord of the Rings.
None of us were alive.
Oh, so you're not aware of the Beatles since they broke up before you were born?
I'm gonna drive to Canada. I'm gonna fucking choke you out. It's gonna be the best. Like, I don't care. I don't care if the police are being killed by a fucking Mountie, but I don't care. I don't fucking care because I will take you out of this world before they get me. And that's the. Oh.
All right. I got to ask some questions here. Does Booger Man not have elbow pads, and it's just like the elbows have worn through along with the knees and the big toes on his shoes?
I don't know what that is. That's weird.
It's his big toe. But I don't know why it's like specifically the shape around the elbows and knees.
Yeah, it's like his suit is worn out in specific spots.
Well, he spends a lot of time on the floor, and what he does in his personal time is no business of yours.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You sure this is not Robin in the future?
Yeah, Robin let himself go.
Batman's dead.
Past middle age.
Batman's dead. All the villains are dead because he found out if you kill them, they don't come back. And so now he's just like completely lost his shit.
Robin's biggest enemy is dialysis.
Grayson, the later years.
All right.
Oh, got a question real quick.
Yeah.
You said Interplay. Isn't that by chance is that affiliated with Sierra?
Maybe.
Sounds like it might be.
We don't know the lineages of a lot of these.
I have no idea. I'm 2 beers deep at this point.
Oh, okay.
I'll look it up for you though. I'll figure it out.
All right, we have a lot more Judge Dredd coverage here, and then we have a special feature about going under the skin of advanced computer modeling. So this is showing us an X-ray of Orchid from Killer Instinct, who we referenced earlier as having the gravity-defying nipples. It's not doing an X-ray of said nipples; it's just below that, unfortunately. So it's just showing us interviews with people that do the advanced computer modeling techniques, mostly with Rare. So they're talking to Tim Stamper from Rare, and they got a couple photos of him, and they have people standing next to giant machines, picture standing outside Rare's headquarters in England. And you got some wireframes of Diddy Kong. And you got a full rendering of Thunder. What's that his name? From Killer Instinct. More Diddy Kong. This is the first time I think we've seen Dixie Kong featured in Kingdom Power. She's one of the stars of Donkey Kong Country 2. So they have her there.
Interplay made some of the early Fallout games, and Sierra was involved with
King's Quest, right?
Yeah, King's Quest, Half-Life. So they're similar, but I don't think that they ended up together.
It's just that the artwork look. I don't know why.
Yeah, the logos are very similar. You're right.
So now we got Spinal looking at Diddy from behind, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bone you."
And Diddy's like pointing and laughing at Dixie Kong. Did Diddy become more punk in the second game? He's got his hat on backwards now, and his shirt's shorter and has a star on it.
He's, oh my god, he's like a Harry Steven universe.
Jesus Christ.
Wasn't that a style back then, having little shirts?
Yes, showing off his midriff.
Early 80s.
I feel like there's photos of Mike dressed like that somewhere.
He's got one of those like fat guy bellies though, where like the belly button gapes.
Yeah.
It's like not a good look.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
And
to the next game
he's
here.
got the hair sleeves too. It's like there's a space between the fur and the skin, which is.
You want to do one more game and then call
Let's
it?
take a break when we get to Epic Center.
Okay.
Is what I would recommend.
Okay. So,
This
what do
will
we
take-
have?
So I got this game.
Okay.
This game's called Power Instinct. It's another fighter, and it is lame. So I want to tell you about a couple of characters I fought. So they have some interesting moves in here. So there's a character called Otane, which is a old woman, and she has a special move which will turn her into a hot young chick.
Yeah.
And then before that though, she has a special move where she like sucks face of the other person.
Yeah.
She like, as an old lady, she jumps on the other person's like shoulders or whatever, chest, and like just you see the lips go out and like suck on the person's face, literally.
I'm getting there. All right, keep going.
Okay. Next up, we have there was a white guy wearing leather leggings with fringe, war paint, and a feather headband that calls himself White Buffalo. If that's not racist as shit, I don't know what it is.
What's up with Annie and her like rainbow attack?
I don't know. It's only two characters I really got into looking at, but
And
yeah.
And then in the upper one, she's throwing her tramp stamp at the enemy.
Like I picked the most normal one. I picked Keith to play as, thinking it'd be easy to control. And like him, Reiji, there's normal fighters, and then they have these weird ass ones. Like Thin Nen over here apparently can summon a demon to fight for him.
Or he covers himself in bubblegum, whatever.
And then Angela has a clit the size of a penis.
Her name's Russell.
She's mid-transition.
Oh my god, she's like D. Snyder bulked up.
Yeah. So they made a ton of these for Super NES, so skip it.
Super C's, did you play Power Instinct growing up? You remember this game at all?
I played it for the arcade.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I thought it was a weird samurai showdown look. To me, it looked that way. Wasn't there a character that comes out from Samurai Shodown, like the referee or something, in the background of this game once?
I have no idea.
We didn't play it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna bet Ben didn't play that much of it because it looks really shitty. But
I played like 5 minutes of this.
Are you a action? Do you like the fighting games?
I love the fighting games.
Yeah.
My wife has
Fighting games. I'm actually a fighting game and beat 'em ups back in the day. And
Nice. So you like memorize the combos and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, how did you do? Like I don't understand. Like I never had time for it. It's just like, so would you sit there with a pad and like figure them out, or would you like look for magazines that had hints? Like how would you figure out the ways to do these games?
I usually basically most of the time I play the arcades and I just learn them by playing. I just learn the moves by playing.
You just making these spastic movements and button
Yeah, because
presses.
you must have a better muscle memory than I do, because I don't remember what I've done to get whatever combo. My hat's off to you because
yeah, it comes automatic. Because I used to be in the arcade all the time. I'd go out there with like a jar full of quarters, and I would learn moves as I go, pretty much.
A jar full of quarters?
Jar full of
That's like the shitty Clint Eastwood threequel.
I'm gonna let you guys know a secret what I used to do. Because she came out with the quarter thing.
Yeah.
This actually works. This actually works. What you do is, if you don't have quarters and you're kind of, I'll just say like this. I didn't have a lot of money back then. I was kind of poor.
Yeah.
But what I did was I got a bunch of nickels and I used the hammer and I crushed them to the size of quarters.
Nice. That's awesome. I love it.
Oh, another thing, I don't know if you guys ever went to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
No, the tokens they had at Chuck E. Cheese, right?
I went to the House of Mouse a few times.
Yeah. The tokens that work at Chuck E. Cheese also work in some arcade machines.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
Bought a jar of them, and I discovered, but when I popped one in by mistake one time, thinking it was a quarter, and it actually worked.
They're close enough that a lot of those coin things can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
You ever try tying a string on one of them and trying to get it back?
You know what? Since I worked on. Well, let's just say this: I repaired game machines and all that, and some of them have a. In the mechanisms on those, in some mechanisms you can't pull it back because it goes in through like let's say little gaps, like little mechanism gaps down. You can't pull it out.
Yeah.
But it's possible in the older ones there might have been some kind of just a simple switch where it might work that way, but I don't think it will ever work on the let's just say the 80s types arcades. I don't know about the 70s ones.
There's an arcade that's near my house. It's a place called Golfland. They have like mini golf, but they have a whole pen area that's like inside the castle when you walk in. That's a bunch of like new arcade machines and stuff. But they also have like a whole bunch of the older arcade games like Pac-Man, Galaga, Centipede, like all that stuff. And they've made all the old styles free, so you can like go and play the old ones whenever you want. Like
that's cool.
Yeah, like my hat's off to them. If you like retro games and are in Arizona, go check out Golfland because they have like a bunch of retro, awesome like cabinets set up, and you can just play as much as you want. So
we could have went there when we went to Vegas. We could have went by.
Yeah.
There.
Why'd you head to Vegas?
For marriage.
Did you get married by Camel Toe Elvis?
Well, I'll tell you this: like we had a shotgun wedding.
Nice.
Yeah. Our parents, let's just say our parents weren't happy, but we were happy.
Well, that's all that matters. As long as you're happy.
Important.
Yes. You're gonna show them with you're you know what, like you guys are the right match for each other. I can tell. So.
Thanks.
Yeah, as long as someone says I do before the water breaks, it's fine.
What about before it crowns? What about now in between the stage?
Well, at that point you can skip the vows.
I can skip the vows. Speed it up. Okay. Mike, I think I mandated that you get Nosferatu.
Yeah, since I'm the horror master here.
I want to hear about Nosferatu.
It's got excellent music. It's got a fantastic cutscene of the hero riding a horse through the countryside and then getting off and then running through the gate because he's tired of Dracula taking his girl and ravaging the countryside, and we don't get the hero's name. But he's going inside, and this guy is no Simon Belmont. He's got no whip. He's got no crucifix, no holy water. All he brought was his fists.
Oh. Sounds like a really bad like action movie from the 80s.
And apparently it's enough because you spend your first level just boxing werewolves into oblivion. And I'm like, really? You're going to punch something in the mouth that can infect you with a bite. And this seems like a good idea to you, but no, you got no weapons. All you do is punch things. And then there's a guy called the zombie. Again, you're punching something that can infect you terribly with a bite, and you're punching him square in the mouth with your unshielded fist. But the controls on this are so fucking bad, you can only punch while running. It's like you need the momentum to throw your fist out.
Wow.
I pressed the punch button. And
so you're saying you'd have better controls playing with Christopher Reeve's straw?
Yeah. Yeah. Old cripple Superman would have a better chance than I would at playing this game. Which sucks because the graphics are great. It's like playing like a high-level DOS game.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
And it's got cutscenes. What you're looking at, these inserts, they're full-motion cutscenes.
Yeah.
In a Super Nintendo game. So it's ambitious and great. And but so like you just look at level 1 after the zombie. On the next page, you see a tiny crevice you have to run up to and slide. But it's not enough to run up to a place and hit the down button or hit a Y button like you would in Mega Man. You have to hit down and Y while still running.
Oh,
nice.
So these controls are fucking terrible. They're
yeah. The pre-rendered stuff looks almost like PlayStation 1 level. Like this, the rendered stuff looks great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's absolutely beautiful. You just can't fucking play it. It hates you. It's just like, hey, how would you like to run over this pit while pressing these buttons and then punching? Oh, and then what they don't tell you is that there's these bodies that will just fall out of the fucking ceiling and hit you. But,
wow, this game really made Mike angry.
I love it.
But you think like, oh no, I'm just going to run and swing my fists. But no, every time you swing your fist, it's like all your momentum goes into your fist to throw it forward. Well, you come to a dead fucking halt. So, I want to like this. This game is like having a really gorgeous girlfriend that never shows up on time, never calls you, like barely associates with you in the same room, but still demands like that you be attentive and listen.
What?
Let's be honest. You would love that.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I would settle for it and hate myself.
Yes.
And
You're gonna hate yourself anyway, so why not?
You already hate yourself, so why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Did we find the girl for you?
so fuck this game. I wanted to like it, but it's too abusive. I like myself too much to put up with this game.
That's
Wasn't there a-
because I like the abuse, so hey, yeah.
I guess I just got low self-esteem. Oh, hey, yeah.
Wasn't there a Nosferatu movie?
There was the Max Schreck version, 1922, and they've remade that in early 2000s with deleted footage and color filters. So all the scenes have like a nice red tint or a yellow tint or a blue tint, and remastered music.
And you're saying Shrek starred in it?
Max Schreck, yes. And it
Donkey.
Yeah, it
You
looks like Christopher.
I would watch that. Shrek
Hey,
fighting.
guys. Did I by mistake?
What? Is he talking to us?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I sorry about that. I interrupted you guys.
You're all good. Don't worry about it. It's
I'll-
only Mike on a rant anyway.
I was gonna say because I've never played this game and I'm just looking at it. It looks a little bit like what was it, the game the Prince of Persia a little
Yep.
bit.
Yeah, it has that look to it.
If Prince
Or-
of Persia hated your guts, yes.
It's like if like Prince of Persia and like Silent Hill had a baby and it had Down syndrome, that would be this game.
But it's not as good as Out of This World, right?
No, it's not that. Yeah, that game. Well, you like that game, really?
I loved Out of This World.
You might
How did you
like it.
figure all that? How did you figure all that stuff out?
You know what? I figured it out by dying so many different. I think I died.
Yeah.
I was just okay with dying over and over and over
Dying
again.
there.
Learn through death.
rewarding. It's like it's so rewarding when you beat the game. You have that satisfied feel. But then when the Sega CD version of it came out, I was actually not disappointed. I was a big fan of the game, and it sort of looked that way a little bit from what I'm looking here, just a little bit the way it goes up in
Yeah.
Yeah, it has that look, but then the actual game itself looks a little more conventional.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd agree with you.
Oh yeah, man.
So I guess you wouldn't recommend it. All right, let's go ahead and take a break now for part one. Listeners, please tune in for part 2. We'll pick it back up at the Epic Center on page 51. Thanks everybody for listening. If you'd like to find more about the show, you can go to our website, playingwithpowerpodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/playingwithpowerpodcast. Or you can try to support the show and send us a few dollars our way to help support us for hosting and whatnot on patreon.com/playingwithpower. We're also on Twitter at GetThePower88. And we always appreciate a nice review, positive or negative, on iTunes. If you search for us there. And Super C's, what do you got?
What?
What's the best ways for people to reach out to you if they wanna see your content and your speed runs and everything like that?
Well, mine is a game. Well, here we have the Super C channel on YouTube, and go to Facebook for Video Warriors.
Okay.
And there's another place we hang around. It's called The Unkillables. Was based on everybody doing no death song.
You guys have more patience than I do for video games, that's for sure.
Yes.
We live, eat, smell, everything.
Smell them.
Smell them.
No video games,
Smell it. You know what?
Smells like burnt plastic.
I mean, it
Smells like.
We have a YouTube for Super C's where you can see all of the super runs. And just go to YouTube, just type in Super C's, and you'll see our runs pop up.
All right, we will put up a link to that for sure as well.
Yeah.
So send the link to Mike, and we'll make sure we put a link up to your your content.
When the episode posts, we'll add it on there.
We also have personal. Mine is Retro Star, which I have my other channel, which I do single player runs, and I also do co-op runs there too. It's Retro Star here. If you type in Retro Star, it'll come up. And
Awesome.
his Game Sensei.
Game Sensei.
Nice, that's an awesome title.
Oh,
like
thank
it.
you.
Not that Retro Star isn't good too, but I really like Game Sensei.
Yeah, Game Sensei. Let me see. You guys can see it's Game Sensei. Do you see that? And
Yep.
Retro.
You got to put a 3.
A 3 on it? You sure you have to put
E
that?
is a 3. Yeah, that's how you have to put it in the right way.
We'll link to all of them because it's
Yes, no problem. Mike, what do you got going on?
Well, if you like hearing me not getting interrupted by Americans, then we've got the Graveyard Shift. Horror
You say
with
that.
Sheldon and-
Hold on. Why the fuck would anybody want that?
You say that, but then you invited me to be on your show for the Christmas
Yeah,
episodes.
I'm spending that entire episode interrupting you just for saying that, just so you know.
So you must like the abuse, sir, because you invited us both onto your show.
Not
so.
together, though. You're more manageable separate.
I see. All right.
I take your concept and I reject that. I'm gonna be more difficult than ever.
All right, Mike, continue.
Okay, so I do a podcast with a guest on this show, Sheldon Brown. We talk about horror games. We talk about our likes, dislikes, production notes, trivia, a little comedy skit. We try to make it pretty funny.
I thought it was horror movies, not horror games.
What did I say?
Oh, I've been reviewing horrors. So I'm not. Oh, I need
Destiny, you get a 3 out of 10. Terrible blowjob. Poor form. You need to cut the balls next time.
I've been reviewing horrors in preparation. I'm so wrong.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I'm Ben.
I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
And now you're playing with power.
Entertainment system. Now you're playing with power.
Oh, there was this hilarious dub of the old Batman cartoon. And
Okay.
it shows the Scarecrow running down an alleyway. And all you hear is Batman behind him going like, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. And then when he finally corners the Scarecrow, he's like, "You're going to jail, Scarecrow." Yeah, And you know who's going to visit me in jail? My parents.
Oh.
It's dark.
And then Batman walks out of the alleyway crying, and Robin's like, "What happened? Did he hurt you? More than you never know."
Oh.
Terrible.